Good day, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. It is currently almost noon. I'm sure a lot of you are at work and you'll be off work later and you might want to watch this video. So, what are we doing today? Well, I am reviewing a video that Chantal did a couple of days ago, the burrito bowl video. Chantal herself, she's been kind of MIA since her visit to the beach, and speculation is abound. Where's Foodie Beauty? What's going on with her? There's been speculation that perhaps she is not feeling well, or perhaps she's on her way home to Canada because it's very unusual for Foodie to disappear for a couple of days without good reason. As everybody knows, Chantal relies on YouTube to make her money. And right now, she's obviously needing a lot of it because she was doing cameos. So for her to miss a couple of days of work, well, that's just money out of pocket. So nobody knows where Foodie is. Nobody knows what she's doing. She could be traveling. She could be not traveling. This could simply be a case of she's just trying to build up suspense so that when she comes online and more people watch her. Although, Foodie, if that is the case, if you're just simply trying to make everybody wonder what's going on with you to get an extra boost in views, that usually doesn't last very long. But I am noting that it's near the end of the month. And near the end of the month, that's when Foodie really turns it on. She's always trying to do the most just to get as much money as possible before the end of the pay period. So I wanted to show you guys some cool stuff on Twitter, some stuff about Foodie, and also some wholesome stuff because we all need a dose of something good and wholesome to make us feel good. And I like to give a mixture of Foodie and wholesome from Twitter. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see and hear everything clearly. So there's my Twitter. Okay, let's start out here. Something wholesome, something fun. This is from Vegan. This is just a cow having fun. A cow acting like a puppy, playing fetch with a ball. Anybody ever see a cow play like a dog? Well, now you have. It's a cow that thinks it's a dog and it's playing fetch with the owner. I think that's adorable. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Okay, this is from House. What an amazing staircase. I can only imagine what the rest of the house looks like. I'm getting ocean vibes here. It kind of looks like an ocean wave, doesn't it? If the staircase looks like this, what does the rest of the house look like? Look at those amazing windows. I would just love to see what the rest of the house looks like if the staircase looks like that. Just beautiful. I would just be walking around with my jaw hanging open. All right, let's go on to something Foodie related. Sayo says, I think Foodie is traveling. 31 days ago, she made this post when a border run was being bandied about since she dipped from YouTube for a couple of days. Orlando? Or is the Canadian person heading back home? So she did this a while ago. Let me just read it to you since the type is really small. I am not traveling to Canada to renew my visa. If that was the case, I would wait until it is due to expire. The tourist visa people think I am still on expires every 3 months. So the first one, it was all set to expire, was the end of May, and I didn't travel then. Next 3 months would bring it to the end of August. But I'll be traveling at a different time than that. So then soon after, we will go on our planned trip. If I don't lose weight, I want to by then, we will just won't do certain activities, but no matter what, we are going. I also don't understand the obsession with my status if I owe strangers any of this information. It's so bizarre. People are insanely obsessed with every minute and trivial detail of my life. It screams boredom and unfulfilled life, which is ironically what those same people accuse me of having, yet I don't fill my day obsessing over the lives of others. Actually, we recently attended a beautiful traditional wedding. There was so much food and dancing and friends and family. Just because we don't film our private lives anymore doesn't mean fill in the blanks. Heck, some of you take the word of some creators without them showing any of their lives. It's so incredibly bizarre, but it doesn't affect my life, so whatever. So this was done, I believe, like over a month ago. Let's see. I've got some comments to this post already, Foodie. You say you don't understand what people being obsessed with your life. It's not so much obsession, it's just trying to fill in the blanks because you refuse to give us the truth. And so people turn to the reactors trying to make sense of everything around you that is bizarre or mysterious or unexplained. So, where you don't give us the truth, the reactors, we try to make sense of it all and bring some reasoning and logic to the table so that those who are trying to keep up with you and understand you have a better understanding. As far as your comment about saying that you're not obsessed with other people, are you kidding? You watch the reaction channels obsessively. You're in their comment sections. You have a bazillion socks just so you can leave nasty comments, and you think that people don't know it's you when it is you. You watch French Fry Girl and her streams, and then sometimes even before her stream is over, you're streaming in response to her stream. So saying that you're not obsessed with people talking about you or commenting about you when you're all over Twitter and you're all over YouTube, well, that's just nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. But there's that post. Let's keep going. This is from Liz Erd saying, "Oh my gosh, the size of the blank on that woman that are having to have that kind of space. There's no doubt at least two flaps are on the floor. Can you imagine what Salah and the cat have to see when she's not on camera?" The original tweet was from Miss Mary Cab saying, "This Yamaha keyboard is 37 inches across. I would venture to guess our girl is hitting a 34-inch knee spread just to sit comfortably." Now, the reason why I'm showing this tweet is it got me to thinking when I saw this picture. So the Yamaha keyboard is 37 inches across. That's pretty big. Chantal at some point has to come back to Canada. I looked up how big airplane seats are. The average airplane seat is 17 inches. So, given her girth and how big she is, and the fact that she has to sit comfortably with her legs spread out, Foodie, you're going to need two seats. If you are sitting there and the keyboard is 37 inches and you're pretty much stretched out all the way from one side of the keyboard to the other, trying to sit in a 17-inch standard airplane seat is not going to work. You're going to need two seats, possibly three, just to be comfortable. Just something to think about, Foodie. Okay, from D Angry Scott saying personal favorite, most funny, most brutal comments. Let's look at the comments. This person says, "It's like watching an invalid out with a nurse. This is a young guy stuck with someone who struggles to even stand up. It's horrible to watch." Uh, Someone else says, "Can you imagine forever committing to someone who leads you to believe that they shared your desire to travel around the world?" So this is in reference to her beach visit. And I must say, during that beach visit, Chantal looked incredibly uncomfortable for so many reasons. It was 100 degrees outside. She had on not just black clothing, but layered black clothing. She had on three different layers of clothing. And I used to live in Cali, and I dealt with days that were 100 plus. When it gets that hot, all you want to do is put on the lightest clothing you can find and just try to get through the heat. But she went to the beach and it was already 100 degrees and she was wearing three layers of black clothing. And it didn't take any time at all for her to start complaining about the heat, and she's hot and she's dizzy and she's about to pass out. So, her being at the beach, on top of the layer clothing, she had a lot of trouble moving. And she walked to the beach and she was already spent by the time she got there. This person says, Chantal, you need to see a doctor about your diabetes, your breathing, you thirst, your hunger. All is exactly what my late uncle was going through before. Like some of these comments are kind of hard to read. So we'll just skip that for right now. D. Angry Scott says, I went hunting for the last known activity from Foodie Beauty. There isn't a lot of comment replies, and the most recent was like 14 hours ago. Does look like there's been a lot of deleting, but there are still some brutal comments. Here are Foodie's replies. Let's look at them. Marion says, please stop saying that you have an illness when you have not been told by a doctor. Foodie replies with, yes, I have. So if you've been to a doctor, Chantal, why haven't you talked about it? Why haven't you shared with the audience, yes, I went to go see a doctor and this is what he said? I don't think you've been to a doctor. I think you're scared to death to go to a doctor because you know they're not going to have good news for you. If you got a full checkup from head to toe, inside and out, the doctor would not have very nice things to say. And I also think you're not going to go to the doctor because if you went to a doctor in Kuwait, more than likely, Salah's going to be with you because you can't go by yourself. And Salah's going to get the full laundry list from the doctor of everything that's wrong with you. And I don't think you want him to know. So to keep him from knowing, you're not going to go to the doctor and let the doctor tell you what's wrong and tell you how to fix it. Another person says, have you taken a good look at yourself? Those side-on profiles are shocking. If Salah truly cared for you, he would get you help. And of course, Foodie had to fire back with, have you looked at yourself fat shaming somebody? This person replies saying, I have. I have been there and I didn't like how I looked or felt, so I did something about it. And I wish that someone had given me a shake long before that. And they also go on to say, and here's the kicker, only you can do something about it. Sitting on the floor, stuffing your grid with food at any given opportunity ain't the way. So this person, at one time, their health was not good. And they are saying to her, look, I've been there and it sucks. And I wish that somebody had shaken my shoulders a little bit and woke me up so I could get healthy. But this person clearly got their act together and they're saying, hey, I've been there. It sucks. You need to turn things around. I agree with that person. She needs to turn things around, but only she can do it. No one can make Chantal do something that she doesn't want to do. She's very headstrong, very bullheaded. The only person that can take control of her health is her. And in my opinion, until she gets away from the enablers and the people that talk about food and the people that are funding her habit, when you sit there and you profit off a problem, then you have no interest in solving the problem. If you're linking the problem to making money, you're never going to solve the problem ever. Okay. Oh, this is from Katie. These pictures are from June of 2022. She was a blank at the park, leaping between rocks and off gazebos. It's crazy how quickly her mobility has decreased in just 1 year. So this was like a year ago. This was back when she was with Natter. As you can see, she was a lot smaller. Clearly, she had more mobility because she was hopping over rocks. It's amazing what a difference can make. How she went from having mobility to having virtually no mobility. Unbelievably annoying cat voice says, I just asked the hubs what he thinks is a difference between the left versus the right. And he said 150 pounds. I covered up the numbers. He also says she's likely topping out her scale, so she thinks she's still in the threes. Well, when you buy a home scale, some of them top out at certain numbers, depending on the scale. Some of them top out at 300. Some of them top out at 500. Once you reach a certain weight, you're going to have to look for a scale that can go higher than the number of the scale you already have. But for some reason, Chantal has always been obsessed with the 300s. And that, I feel, is because she was in the 300s still when she was with BB. So maybe in her mind, uh, despite the fact that she's gotten bigger and she's gotten unhealthier, she still thinks that she's the same weight that she was all the way back then. And that's why when she tells us her weight, it's always 350, 360, 370. She never tells us I'm 400 or I'm 450. She wants to continue to believe that she's still in the 300s. Well, Chantal, you're not in the 300s. Looking at this picture and the one next to it, I have to agree with the husband. The difference between those two pictures is about 100 to 150 pounds. So if you were 374 in the picture on the left, then that means you're basically close to 500 or over on the right. That's just my opinion. Okay, this is from Amberlynn's Dangling Foot, saying Chantal 5 years ago versus Chantal today. 5 years ago, she weighed in at 374 pounds. 2 weeks ago, she said she's 370. All you're doing is lying to yourself, girly. So here we go. This was Chantal back when she was with BB. There's the number. You guys can see right here, this was 5 years ago, and she was almost at 400 pounds then. This is what she looked like. This is what she looks like now. So she's at a lesser weight than then? No, clearly she's not. Clearly something is wrong here. And what's wrong is that Chantal won't stop lying to herself and lying to her audience. Okay, something wholesome from Fascinating. Beautiful cloud formation. This is in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Wow. Gorgeous. It makes me miss my home, Florida. I miss Florida sometimes. I miss the beaches. I miss the water. But I'm in Washington now, and it's gorgeous up here, just in a different way. I still miss the beach. All right, this is from Twit. Now, this is not about foodie, but it's somebody else that I've been covering, Hungry Fat Chick. Hungry Fat Chick, 4 months difference, y'all. Just wow, Candy is doing the doggone thing. Yeah, like this is Candy then, this is Candy now. What a difference a little bit of self-care can make. And I applaud you, Candy. I encourage you to keep going. Even if you stumble and you fall, get back up, get back on that horse and keep riding, mama. You're doing right by yourself. All right, from Scara, saying, look at how she's walking. Her right leg looks stiff, like she's dragging it. Then standing on it like it's numb. Steps out with left leg, drags the right leg under her, steps out with the left leg, drags right leg under her. Which foot had the weird coloration? I don't know. I know that she was complaining about sciatica pain and back pain. I don't doubt that because Chantal carries a lot of her weight in the front of her body. To kind of put it in perspective, I'm 5'4", and I haven't stepped on a scale lately, but I'm in about basically 130, 135. Because of Chantal being super, super morbidly obese, can you imagine carrying the weight of 1 or 2 grown adults in the front of your body and it's permanently attached to you? You can't let it go. You can't get away from it. That's why her back hurts. I'm sure her lower back is screaming. Plus, and this is not me fat shaming Chantal, like everybody talks about the fupa balls. You know, that the fupa ball situation has graduated to a full-on apron. And all of that weight on the very, very bottom is dragging down almost to her knees. So I imagine that is making it more difficult to walk. You know, it just, it impedes the leg movements. But she is like, she's dragging her feet. And I don't know if that has to do with leg pain or back pain or both. Or maybe it's because of the fupa. I don't know. but she's walking like it's very, very difficult for her. Okay, so that is it for everything on Twitter. So let's go on to the actual video itself. Excuse me. Let's see what she has to say. Let's do this.
There, Beezers.
Okay, nobody cares about your cameo. Go away, Chantal.
Great. So, this is triggering me, my OCD.
Okay, you know what? I've been watching Foodie for a long time, for years. So she's claiming to have OCD. Why is it that this is the first time we're hearing about it? Foodie, if you're claiming something about yourself that isn't true, don't do that. Don't self-diagnose yourself. You haven't been to any doctors for anything, not for anything mental, emotional, or physical. So please don't sit there and self-diagnose yourself or claim on camera to have something that you don't have. There's a lot of people out there that suffer with OCD, and you're kind of making a mockery of it. So don't do that. Not cool.
That the fork and knife were upside down, and the spoon was different direction. Don't ask. All right. So today I honestly just don't even feel like I'm trying a new skincare routine. I'll talk about that in my live stream. Actually, I've been to Sephora here finally. Everything is Lush. Sephora products are astronomically more expensive. I checked compared prices than in Canada, so I'm gonna wait until
I'm just gonna say it. Foodie puts so much emphasis on buying expensive makeup and buying expensive beauty products from Sephora. And I am not throwing shade on anyone that you like to shop at Sephora and buy beauty products. I'm sure they got great stuff. Where I'm going with this is Chantal. You put so much emphasis on buying expensive makeup and expensive beauty products. At the same time, you're putting nothing but garbage down your throat. Little helpful tip. Your skin, your body reflects a lot of what's going on inside. If you want beautiful skin, you want nice skin, take care of your body. You're always looking for ways to cover up what's wrong, using makeup, using filters. You're concerned about the surface level. But why not put some healthy food down your throat? That healthy food, not only do you feel better eating it, but it also, your health radiates from the inside out. So instead of spending so much money at Sephora and buying the beauty products for your skincare routine, why don't you make part of your skincare routine eating healthy food, drinking lots of water, hydrating yourself? That adds a lot to skin health. Skin, it shows the health of what's going on inside of you.
I hit Canada to get some more things. But yeah, I'll talk about that after. So I am in the mood to eat this today. I was in the mood for like some kind of bowl with like rice, beans, like just like a vegetarian kind of meal with guacamole, salt.
Were you in the mood to eat that, or was Salah in the mood to get it for you and have you eat it? Or was this a request from one of your special viewers that pay you for content? Questions abound.
Salsa. So this is from a like supposedly like more authentic Mexican place. And honestly, I just feel like having water. I'm really thirsty. And I just feel like drinking water. All right. Cold water. So, I also got a side of guacamole and salsa. So let me put homemade guacamole. This stuff is like expensive, like more expensive than Sephora. Do you ever notice that guacamole, the price of guacamole is like ridiculous. I don't know what.
You know what else is expensive? Buying takeout 3 times a day. If you kept receipts of all the money, and all the times you did takeout for 1 month, and then you looked at it at the end of the month, you would be shocked. If you actually faced how much money was spent on takeout, you might be shocked. I mean, you did tell us while you were in Canada that you spent $3,000 to $4,000 a month on food, and then another few thousand on junk food, and then another few thousand at the dispensary. Your food bill is shocking. Shocking. And you're over there talking about guacamole.
Why? I just do. I don't know why. I just do. Okay, let me put some salsa. Mmm. So, even though there's pico, this is gonna slap. I know it. All right.
What is it with her using this slang these days? Everything slaps. Oh, this is slapping. This slaps. Where did this come from? Where did she get this from? She likes using that term slaps anymore. It's just weird.
I'm eating this with a spoon or a fork. Okay, let me try a fork because there's lettuce. But I like to eat rice with a spoon. So I'm just gonna mix everything all together. Actually, maybe that will be easier.
She started out with a fork and now we switched to the spoon so she can shovel it faster into her mouth. Because, forks just don't hold enough food for one bite.
My husband plays romantic songs for me that get stuck in my head all day. Mashallah. Okay, guys, so let me mix this. Baby girl. I love these bowls. They're so satisfying. They have everything in them,
Why don't you eat them more? And I'm sorry, I'm looking at that portion. 2 people, easily 2 people. A lot of people have told Chantal, listen, you're eating the portions of like 3 or 4 people all one sitting. You can't sit there and tell me that was a portion for just one person. I wouldn't believe it.
And the avocado makes it so creamy. And the salsa is like a dressing, full of protein with the brown rice and the beans. Oh, I love it. All right, so
what do you think you're trying to do, Chantal? Are you trying to be healthy, Chantal, and try to educate us on health? No one should be taking health advice from you. You're over 500 pounds. You have limited mobility. You can barely breathe. You can't even take a walk on the beach for 15 minutes without feeling like you're going to pass out. You obviously can find health advice on Google. Whenever you want to make a video and make yourself sound smart, you look for stuff on Google. It's just a doggone shame that you don't read that stuff and put it to memory and then put it to use. You simply look up healthy advice and tidbits and articles just to turn into content for your videos. But you never really put any of that into play.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Yeah. All right, beauty bite.
That is not a beauty bite. Loading up your fork with as much, or spoon rather, with as much food as you can possibly get on it just to shovel it in your mouth, that is not a beautiful bite. There's nothing beautiful about that. Watching somebody stuff their face and make themselves sick, I'm sorry, there's nothing pretty about that.
Well, that is so good. The salsa is so delicious. I can taste it.
I doubt that. Because you don't even chew your food. You just put it in your mouth and you swallow. So how can you taste anything? You don't even give you a chance for your taste buds to start working.
It just like satisfies all the taste buds. Like you have the proteiny beans.
Chantal, listen, you don't care about taste. You don't care about how something tastes. All you care about is it's all about the mass. It's all about the volume. It's all about bulk. The more food, the better. It's not about if does it taste good, does it not taste good. It's about how much can I stuff in my stomach until I'm over full.
The seasoned rice that makes it filling,
Right.
that full of fiber, like carbohydrate.
And that's exactly what she goes for. How filling it is. Not is it healthy? Does it taste good? Is it nutritious? It's all about the bulk, the volume, how full she feels.
Think of the crunchy lettuce, the creamy avocado, sour cream, and the corn is crunchy. A bit sweet. I love it. So yeah. I feel like eating something very nutritious today.
Well, that ain't it. No shade on Taco Bell, but the amount of food you're eating and then you added the sauces and everything else, you kind of cut down what little bit of nutrition there might have been there by doing that. That shot right there just says everything. That freeze frame. You want nutritious, and if you're going for bulk, Chantal, if it's all about I need to feel stuffed, there's all kinds of tricks and ways you can make that happen and eat nutritiously. You can eat certain things in bulk and feel full without loading up on calories, but you're not interested to learn what those things are. Like, here's a little healthy trick for anybody who's interested. If you make a healthy stew or a soup, a lot of what a soup is just liquid, correct? Liquid fills you up. It makes you feel full. It will trigger that full feeling a lot faster. And so you feel full without putting in a bulk of volume in your stomach.
I feel happier and healthier when I have like a balance, you know?
But you don't have a balance. That's a problem. So now you're eating this burrito bowl, which is, I guess it's okay. Not the best. It's better than eating 6 cheeseburgers all at one time and half a liter of Pepsi or Coke. But you could do better, Chantal. But even when you eat the healthy meals, you screw it up by eating unhealthy meals directly after that. I mean, because what can one healthy meal do against the next meal after that? You're eating like 6,000 calories of carbs and fat and sugar. Not much.
Of course, I feel like crap when I just eat crap all the time because, like,
well, then you feel like crap all the time because you eat crap all the time. It's all takeout all the time. You don't try to eat healthy. The only time you eat healthy is to appease Salah. You'll sit there and you'll eat the healthy food in front of him, and then he leaves the house, and you immediately have unhealthy food. You sneak eat behind his back.
If you look at like a pepperoni and cheese pizza stuffed crust from Pizza Hut, one of my favorite things here. So good. I had a super big craving for it like the other night at like 5 in the morning.
But you know what? If it's 5 in the morning and you're craving pizza, you know what you could do? You could say to yourself, that's madness. It's 5 in the freaking morning. What do I need a pizza for? And say no to yourself. Even if you have a craving, You are a person. You have your own sense of free will. You can use that free will to say, I'm having a nonsensical thought that makes no sense. And I can say no to that thought. I don't have to follow through with it. I can say, no, nope, it's not a good idea. 86 that. But your problem is you don't know how to say no to yourself. You get a thought in your head and you run with it. And that leads us to situations like this right here.
And I think I just had the urge to like binge out and just have something bad.
You know, your problem, Chantal, is that you let your cravings and your urges control you. You let them have complete control. You have a craving, you have an urge for something, you don't try to stop yourself. And honestly, I don't think you can stop yourself. The only thing that's going to save you is for you to go to an inpatient facility where other people can say no to you and you can be watched and monitored, and somebody else can be the control and have the control that you don't have right now. Your urgings and your cravings and your thoughts are running you. You're not running them.
But I felt like so much like crap after that. I'm like, is this really worth it? No. Like I just felt like so bad, but I always like forget that feeling after a while, you know? But it was just like cheese, processed meat, butter, and there was nothing like, you know, refreshing or fresh inside of it. So it was definitely.
You know, you guys on my channel, you know that I've been covering Candy, Hungry Fat Chick. And just like Chantal, she had a channel where she catered to people who wanted to watch a person eat large amounts of fast food. Candy's channel is twice the size of Chantal's. She's doing the same content, and her health was just as bad, maybe worse, as Chantal's. And I'm proud of Candy because she's made amazing progress. She said to herself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to be unhealthy. I want to have energy. I want to get my health together. So I am going to do just that. Even though she's got a very large channel and a lot of the people on her channel were coming to watch her eat, she made the decision, you know what? My health is worth more than money. I'm choosing my health over the money. I'm going to get it together. And the last react that I did to her video, the last video I did before that, she talked about her bad moment. And she had that bad moment. She said, it's just not worth it. She had a bad moment. She decided, you know what? This is not worth it. And she got back on the horse and she kept writing and she's still doing good. I'm so proud of Candy for that. So, Chantal, it is possible to have a channel on YouTube where you start out and you're catering to certain kinds of people and put the brakes on and say, I'm ruining my health and I shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to turn this thing around. If Candy can do it, then you can do it. But you've got to want to do it. Nobody can make you do it. You got to make that decision that your health is worth more than a fistful of cash. It's all up to you.
Definitely, it made me feel sick. I ate the whole pizza, whole medium. Not a good idea. But sometimes I go through bad moments like that, you know, where it's really hard for me to say no to my craving, my impulse. So
You don't even try. You don't even try. You give in to your urges, you give in to your cravings. You even try to set up different avenues to attract that certain group of people in your audience that are looking for you to make paid content for them. So you're looking for ways to profit off your problem rather than solve your problem. How can you solve a problem if you're making money off of it and that's your sole source of income? This is your channel. You can do any kind of content you want. You can tell that group of people in your audience that want you to see eat large amounts of fast food and ruin your health. You can tell them where to go. You say, hey, I know you're here to watch me eat, but my health is really bad. And I'm not going to ruin my health for people on the internet who don't care about me. I'm going to take care of me. You could do that. You could have a health arc. The amount of time it would take to take you from where you are now to being healthy would last about a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3, depending on your progress. That could be a very long, consistent arc that you could stick with. And you would get a whole new group of people behind you. And at the same time, get your act together. You spend so much time catering to the negative group of people in your audience that you're not thinking about the fact that you could start to build up a larger, more positive group that are there for the right reasons. And you might have a different kind of success that way. Your problem is you're trying to take the easy way out. You're doing what's easy and what's lazy versus something that would take work. But if you work, you get the rewards of work, Chantal.
A balance would have been like a piece or 2 of pizza with salad. Not just the whole pizza, which, you know what? The diet box included pizza this time. So I'll have to show you guys that. So,
You want to know how I know she doesn't really like this burrito box thing? Look at her picking at her food. You know, Chantal, you have many tells. If you really love something, you will devour it in just a few bites. You keep swishing the food around in the box. You're barely picking at it. It's okay, but I can tell you don't really love it. She's almost forcing herself to eat it.
it's also crunch time. I really need to try to get some weight down.
Well, I'll tell you what, sleeping all day and then waking up just long enough to eat and do a video and then going back to sleep, that's not going to help. Because if there's one thing that'll make you gain weight, it's eating a large meal right before bed and then going to bed. That's why you're gaining so much, Chantal. Between the large amounts of fast food and no activity, yeah, you're putting on weight like nobody's business.
You'll see why. Now, I want to thank all of you who have purchased cameos.
So Chantal has done some cameos. I believe she's done 4 or 5 of them. So she's made about $100 to $125 gross with the cameos. Cameo takes 25% of that. So let's just say she made $100 off the cameos. So essentially, all she made with cameos is about $100. That'll pay for what, 2 or 3 takeout meals, and she's going to eat all that money up. She didn't make much. And as I mentioned, even if she's doing cameos, maybe she made a little bit of money at the beginning, but how long is the novelty of the cameos going to wear off? It's not going to be the moneymaker that she thinks it is.
I completed them all, and yesterday I was in the top 50, so I was like ranked number 26, right above Santa Claus. I swear. For the amount of cameos I was making. And by the way, the price I charge, you should see some of the prices people charge.
Well, a lot of the people that are on Cameo, they're actual celebrities, Chantal. They are known actors and actresses and public people. You're just a YouTuber. So if Beyonce or Keanu Reeves or somebody, they're charging, say, $100 or $150 off a Cameo, there's a reason for that. You're just somebody on YouTube with a channel. So no, you cannot get away with charging $100 a video. It's vegetarian food.
And it was actually suggested to me when I was setting up my Cameo which price I should pick between this and range, So I was somewhere in the middle to try to be fair.
You don't care about being fair. She did not pick her price on, I just want to be fair to people. Since when is Chantal fair? Was it fair, Chantal, for you to set up a postcard club and charge people $10 a month every month for postcards they never received? Each one of those people on that list, and there were several, you went months and months and months and months and months and not a single doggone postcard. They paid over $100 for a postcard they never got. You didn't even have the good sense to just get a bunch of cheap postcards in Canada and mail them out to people. I clocked it from the very beginning that those people paying that $10 a month, they would never receive a postcard from you. Because I couldn't imagine you sitting down, writing a personalized message on each postcard, and then taking your butt down to the post office and mailing them out. You straight up scammed people and ripped people off. And you were laughing all the way to the bank, knowing that people were never going to get what they were paying for. And now you're talking about, I just want to be fair. No. In your head, you were thinking, what can I get away with charging? I don't want to go too low, but I don't want to go too high either, because if I go too high, nobody will get a Cameo. So I'll take whatever I can get. You've never been about being fair. If you were a fair person, you would look at your channel and think to yourself, there are people on my channel, they deserve great content. They deserve some serious entertainment. Maybe I need to be entertaining. Maybe I need to do more than just sitting on a floor with a laptop box on my lap, eating fast food. Being fair means you care about your audience and you want to entertain them.
Because it's just like a side thing, side hustle, and a way to connect with you guys.
The first comment was the true one. It's just a side hustle. And the next comment, it's a way to connect with you guys. The first comment was the true one. It's just a side hustle. I'm just looking for other ways to make money. Pay no attention to the second comment. She doesn't care about connecting with you guys. If she cared, then she would just say, screw the memberships on my channel. I want to talk to people. Chantal said long ago, if she couldn't make money on YouTube, she wouldn't be making content. It's always been about the dollar bill with her. She puts the dollar bill above everything, including her health.
You guys can keep the cameo forever. I've gotten a lot of special occasions. People wanting to see Howie, birthdays, weddings.
By the way, since you brought that up, since you brought up the hamster, I saw the clip of you feeding the hamster a Cheeto. Hamsters do not eat Cheetos. It's junk for you. It's junk for the hamster. You should not be feeding your pets Cheetos or any other junk food. Don't feed them to Julia. Don't feed them to the hamster. Feed them regular food. In all the time that you've had a YouTube channel, Chantal, you've shown us food hauls for yourself. But one thing I've never seen from you is a pet food haul. You didn't do it for BBJ and Sam. You're not doing it for Julia and Howie. Why don't we ever see a pet food haul for your pets? You're very eager to show off your fast food to us. You show us how you feed yourself, but you never show us how you feed your pets.
Congratulations on your new job, that kind of thing. So if you want a personalized message, check my Cameo link down below.
Little sneaky tip for those who want to take the advice. You want Chantal to say hi to you? Just go into one of your live streams when she's got open chat, say hi to her. And the moment she says hi to you, clip that and keep it for yourself. You ain't got to pay any money. I'm just saying. Why pay $25 for something you can get for free?
You can also DM me. Ma'am. Julia stole a piece of my stuffed crust, by the way.
Is it because she's hungry? How are you feeding her? Is it because she's hungry, or is it because she's a stray and she's just used to that behavior? You can't yell at her for taking your food, Chantal, when you conditioned her to get food from you while you're doing your videos. You can't yell at her for behavior that she's already conditioned to as a street cat and behavior that you back up by giving her food when you do your videos. You can't yell at her for what you reinforce. Don't give her that bombastic side eye. You told her to come to you for food.
I had to chase her down. So yeah, the diet kick that came today had pizza, and it was like a whole pizza like this. So I don't know if it was like, but they give you salad too. So I don't know if they use it's a pretty thin crust. Depends how thick the bread is too. Regarding calories.
Chantal, if they give you too big of a pizza, here's a couple of just normal suggestions. If you're trying to take care of your health, and even if you order a diet box, and even if they give you a really big pizza, there's a couple of things you can do with it. You can either cut it in half and just have half the pizza and the salad. Take the other half that you're not eating at that moment and put it in the fridge, or cut it in half and throw the other half away. You don't have to eat everything all at once if you don't want to. You can save some for later.
Her new favorite place to sleep is in the sink. Mm. I love burrito bowls.
No, you don't. Stop lying. It's taken you far too long to finish that, so you don't love it.
I've never tried Chipotle. Is it overrated? We have like...
Who does this? She's sitting there eating a burrito bowl. She's got food in front of her. She's stuffing it in her face. And she's eaten a good portion of that bowl. And even before she's finished, she's already talking about another fast food joint she wants to eat that. You're eating food at present time, Chantal. Why are you thinking about more food later?
In Canada, we had mucho burrito, remember? I used to go and get a mucho burrito. And what else? Don Juan burrito, maybe? There was always a place that was open late, but they're...
This is boring AF. You know that? This is so boring. It has nothing to do with y'all watching the video. Watching this person eat food and talk about other fast food restaurants is boring, Chantal. You wonder why your views suck anymore. You wonder why you're having to seek out different forms and avenues to make money. Here you go. Here's your sign. Read it. Read the room. The room is bored. We're bored of this crap. You're bored of this crap. That's the amazing part. You're bored of it too. You're in Kuwait. You're bored. You've been nostalgic for Canada for a reason, because you're bored of Kuwait. You're bored of Salah. So find a way and go home. Why continue on with this nonsense?
Food wasn't mediocre. But if I was desperate to order out...
Whatever, shut up.
Here, it's like 24 hours.
Just talking about food, endlessly talking about food. She needs impatient. She's so hyper fixated on food. Like, there's nothing keeping her thoughts off of food. Even while she's eating, she's thinking about food, talking about it.
It's because with the heat, people do things later in the day. Like the government has issued some warnings and tips because the next few days are going to get up to 55 degrees Celsius.
Well, over in Kuwait right now, even when the sun goes down, the temperature goes down ever so slightly, but not that much. So during the day, if it's 100 degrees, 120 degrees, 131 degrees, at night, it's still close to 100. So it's still too hot to go outside.
And like they tell you not to go out between 10 and 4. Don't leave anything in your car, like aerosols, lighters, electronics, and make sure to try to fill your tank at night.
So you can't go outside and you have to stay inside. If you want to get healthy, there's a lot of things you could do, Chantal. You can put on a YouTube video of dancing or low impact aerobics or something and work out in the privacy of your own home. In the building that you're in, there's a workout area, which is air conditioned. So you really have no excuse as to why you can't get healthy. They even have a freaking swimming pool, which would be great for you. You can get in the water and get cool and give yourself a bit of a swim and really start to get some of your stamina back.
Something about snakes and scorpions. I don't know. The avocado was very creamy.
Oh,
I put
God.
this into perspective. The hottest it gets usually in Canada, I will not be going near the windows.
Okay, so she's boring me. All she's doing is talking about food and talking about the heat. I don't feel any sympathy for Chantal because everybody told her before she went to Kuwait, look, it's going to get really hot over there. You're Canadian. You're very sensitive to heat. And you're going to a very hotter place. We warned her. So any complaints or whining that she has about the heat, I'm not listening. So let's go on to the comments to close this out. Psyched for Life says, those full body shots of you on the beach were shocking. This has to be your rock bottom. Did she reply? This person says, it's not. There is no bottom, and Chantal is truly talented in finding new lows. She is our queen. Well, if you're looking for a queen of lows, I guess she would be it. Tattooed Witch says, you can't tell someone when they hit rock bottom. She was actually a lot bigger. Not true. When she was in Canada, she was a lot smaller. She's gained a lot of weight since being in Kuwait. Let's see. User says, Chantal, my God, seeing your full body in your most recent lives is absolutely mind-blowing. How much do you actually weigh now? This has to be the heaviest you've ever been. You must be so uncomfortable every waking moment. How can you not even make the smallest change to get your health on track? Well, I can answer that question for you. Because she's too busy monetizing her bad health and making it worse. That's why. She's making money off of being unhealthy. And although there are people on Chantal's channel that they want her to get healthy, she's more focused on finding those people that they support her eating and they will fund her unhealthy habits, unfortunately. Cece says, I wouldn't want your supportive cheering you on subscribers. They don't give a crap about you to enable you. People who care express truths we may not want to hear, but need to. Yeah, sometimes the people that care about you the most are those that give the criticisms. Sometimes criticism, it may be harsh, but if there's truth in it, you should listen. If you know you're doing something that you're hurting yourself, you know you are, and somebody comes along and they say, hey, I see you hurting yourself. I don't think that's cool. Maybe you should stop. Maybe it's not about hating on you or shaming you. Maybe they're pointing out to you so that you will be aware that they notice too. And they're not going to be in agreement with you hurting yourself. And that's something to take notice of. Let's see. All right. Cherry says, this all seems so unsettling. You continue to justify eating on camera to feed your addictions, food, attention, money. You have been told by HP not to do this, but you continue to dismiss their guidance. It's a choice. So that aside, I guess the bigger question is why Salah, who you have said clearly supports you both extremely well, and it got cut off. So people are questioning Salah. People have been asking Salah, like, why aren't you uh, helping Chantal? I mean, there's really nothing that Chantal can do. I mean, I'm sorry, Salah can do. He can't stop her from eating. And Chantal, he tries to get her to eat healthy. He tries to get her to uh, do something she doesn't want to do it. Emerald says, I'm much older than you, and I'm not saying this to be mean. Only to warn you about what you may be facing as you get older. I have essential hypertension and have had it for many years. I have to seriously watch my sodium intake and also no sugars due to having an endometrial cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm on several prescription drugs for hypertension, and it's no joke. There are side effects to most of these drugs. It's like playing Russian roulette. You're fortunate now you have had more time to change your life for the better. I hope you do sooner than later because we can't know what tomorrow will bring. Enjoy life, but remember that everything is a positive and negative, and they need to be balanced. I know this is weird. Y'all excuse me. There's a package here, and I'll be right back to finish this react. Sorry about that. I had to make sure the package was here. So this person, Emerald, is saying, look, you know, you got to take care of your health now. You can't wait. Foodie Beauty Health Prevention says, why didn't you bring your subscribers live shopping at Sephora? You asked people for personal care advice, and this could have been a chance for interactive, interesting content. True, it could have been. But she didn't show herself in Sephora. She'll show herself eating, but not anywhere where food wasn't involved. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to close out this video. Hope you guys have a really great day today. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and have a good one.